people who weren't citizens being able to vote, and it had to end up going to the Supreme case. So I guess in those instances where you have situations that are extreme, then they may make it to the Supreme Court faster if it's seen as a priority. I don't want to speak out of terms, but I think that could be the case when we're dealing with a situation as volatile as what's happening right now. Because, like I said, what I see happening right now is that mostly Democrats. There may be some Republicans that disagree with what's happening right now, but they haven't come out and said anything vocally about it. Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of Democrat officials, elected officials, that don't agree with this. And, I think that what they're doing right now, like I said, with what we're seeing on social media and things like that, where you have these celebrities and people of influence pretty much playing on the heartstrings of the American people. I think what they're doing is trying to, create a situation where there will be a lot of blowback against the Trump administration, and in an attempt to make Congress act on something, to try to slow some of these deportations down. Mm-hmm. I don't know how effective that's going to be, because a lot of people, there was a good number of people who voted for Trump because he said he was going to end the mass illegal immigration. So I don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, I just feel like people were warned that this would happen. This is not something, in my opinion, that just came out of nowhere. And one day, boom, they just decided to start deporting a bunch of people. They said that they were going to do this. And unfortunately, I guess some people didn't take it seriously. Now, there were some people that before Trump, was inaugurated, they started just self-deporting. They started heading back home on their own. Mm-hmm. And I guess the people,
a lot of people
who were wasting time protesting and saying they weren't going to go, I don't know how well that's going to work out for them, if I'm being honest. And like I said, like you just said, these people are moving at lightning speed with these deportations.
Yeah.
So you may not even get a day in court before you're deported.
Right. Maybe, But, honestly, let's just be, I'm just going to be real, because a lot of people are speaking on this immigration issues that have no idea about immigration issues. Right? And it's crazy. It's real crazy. A lot of people out here, they're like, oh, it's all these people are getting deported back. People are looking, seeking exile. Seeking exile is something completely different than freaking bombarding a country's borders and living lawlessly. Those are two different things, and people are trying to conflate those things. And it's just like you people obviously don't know anything about immigration, right? I know a few things about immigration. I'm an immigrant myself, right? I come from a family of immigrants, surrounded by immigrant friends and business partners, and there's so many different levels or reasons why somebody is an immigrant and how a person is an immigrant. Mm-hmm. Like literally, there are people that just don't give two damns about a passport or a visa, and they move across borders how they feel like it. Mm-hmm. And there are also people that move that come into this country through like work visas and things like that, and mm-hmm. run off on a work visa and then get hired, lawyer up and then dodge the process while working the process, type of thing, mm-hmm. And then they got this new term called documented, undocumented. So I don't even understand that. Do you understand the undocumented thing?
I thought undocumented was just another term for no papers.
It's trying to me.
Like
what I see is it's
a nicer way to say illegal.
Yeah. That's exactly what I see. It's just like, oh, you can't call people illegal because that's not what? Not illegal?
It's not nice. You're living in the time
of be nice?
Right.
Oh.
This is the reason why I made that post.
What post?
When I said these Gen Xers are the meanest generation of the newer generations.
No, but honestly, a world of nice doesn't exist. We're not living in. There's no such thing as a world. There are people who are trying to do exactly what you're doing, and those people are making it so much easier for the controllers to say, "Here, do this, do that." You gotta be nice.
You can still be nice, but be direct at the same time. Like I personally feel like you can be stern.
What's not nice about
you don't have to be belligerent. You don't have to be mean.
So what's belligerent?
Cruel or anything. Some people are very belligerent and cruel and mean just for the sake of doing it.
So what is belligerent, rude, mean, or any of those things when saying an illegal alien is illegal?
You can use the correct terms. I'm not saying that you can't use the correct term if you want to. There's nothing wrong with stating a fact, because that's just a fact. They entered the country illegally, so that's why they're being called illegal immigrants.
Well, the people out here on the left, the extreme leftists, I should say, right, will tell you you're absolutely batshit crazy. These people you can't call these people illegals.
Well, you know what, you're right, because I believe, what's that senator's name? Alexandria Cortez.
Oh, her? Jesus, please. Okay.
I think she was extremely angry about them being called illegal immigrants. She said that you can't call a human being illegal. I don't want to misquote her, so I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
This is not a direct quote, but in a nutshell.
Yeah, she's from this new nice
generation. It's what I
believe.
I think she's a millennial. So she knows better.
She's from this new nice generation.
She's a millennial, so she's just an extreme, what you would call an extreme leftist type person. Because there is I don't know. You do have some millennials that are like far, far, far left. I'm not one of them, but you do have that element of the millennials that are. They think more like Gen Zers. But anyway, I don't want to go too far off into that.
So, one second. I just want to put it out there. I know a couple of people that, or knew a couple of people, past tense, that have been illegal, right? And that have been here illegally, completely illegally, right? And they move in a way that they understand that they're here illegally. Like, they're not going out having an argument with you in public so the fucking cops can come. That's not really happening, right? They're not, but when they're moving in shadows, they're making huge moves, but they're not moving out here like the average citizen because they understand they're moving illegally. Mm-hmm. So for these people out here to say, oh, they're not, you can't call them illegal, when these people know that they're moving illegally. They're not crazy.
Right, but when you have people entering the country illegally, this is a different time because people have come into the country illegally under different administrations where they didn't have the red carpet rolled out for them. Yeah. They weren't laced with money and EBT cards. They weren't treated like they were on an extended vacation.
The freaking Haitians boats off the coast of Miami.
So it's a different time that we're living in,
right.
where, like I was saying earlier, where people feel like they're entitled to be here, whether or not they went through the proper immigration channels or not. So you're dealing with a lot of people who have entered the country under that premise.
But the only reason
they have a different outlook of the immigration policy.
And I understand that. But there's a reason behind that, right? Mm-hmm. The reason behind that is because previous administrations have allowed that.
Right.
Right. So then that so far has been taken on as now norm. No, but that administrations change.
But you still have those Congress is still there, even though we have a different presidential administration. A lot of the people in Congress are still there, and they still have that same mindset. Like Alexandria Cortez, she's still in Congress. She still has that mindset that you can't call a human being illegal. So, when you have American lawmakers that are literally basically making these individuals feel like it's okay, don't worry about it, we got your back, then what do you think the outlook is going to be of the person who entered the country illegally?
Right. I mean, I get it, but it's a different time.
It is a different time, and that's why a lot of people got a very fast, very unpleasant wake-up call within this last week, because this administration came in basically kicking and swinging.
Yeah, they wasn't playing.
And I don't know, like I said, I don't think people are really prepared for what's happening right now. And I don't know why they wouldn't take it seriously, because that border czar, he said we're coming.
Yeah. And Trump,
he said we're going to come in and do our job.
So one thing we could know about Trump from his last term, mm-hmm. He gonna move to do what he campaigned on.
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah.
He gonna move to do what he campaigned on.
For the most part.
History shows us that, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, for somebody to be shocked and surprised, I think the only thing shocking and surprising that people, and I think everybody's going through it, regardless of what side you're on, mm-hmm. is just how fast this administration is moving, right? Mm-hmm. At lightning speed. But that's because they've been preparing since the election. They literally they had their own version of the White House down there in Mar-a-Lago. It's already it's not like you got to go through this 100 days of getting thing and they right to work, and kudos to him for that.
And they said, I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to be insensitive or anything like that, but the man in his administration literally said what they were going to do when they came into office. And if I was in the country illegally, I wouldn't have been sitting on my hands waiting to see if they were going to come and get me. I would have been trying to get a lawyer and get something in writing and try to.
Some people ain't gonna do that. Some people gonna move. Some people gonna go deeper in shadows.
Some people will do that, or some people would self-deport, like you've seen some people doing, and things like that. But I do want to move on because we got quite a few things. Well, we got a few things that we need to talk about. Are we gonna open the phone lines?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Phone number to get in touch with us it's on here somewhere. Hold on, let me see if I put this thing on the screen so everybody can see. And you can call 470-666-2194. Again, that's 470-666-2194. Phone lines are open. Let's do that.
All right. So if you all want to call in and give your opinion on what's happening right now with the Trump administration, you are free to do so. I did pose the question in tonight's show: is Donald Trump destroying America? Now, I want to talk about DEI for a minute. Diversity, equity, inclusion. I believe I'm accurate when I am in the description of that diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI, because that has been a very hot topic this week. A lot of people are extremely angry that those provisions will be rolled back. And while I think that if they want to eliminate it, they're going to do it regardless of how people feel about it because they're in power now. And the only way you can get rid of the policies that they're implementing is next election cycle to vote them out. It's the way the Democrats got voted out this time around. Here's my take on DEI, because I see a lot of Black people arguing with each other about DEI in several different comment sections all over social media. Before I do that, have we already ended the streams on the other platforms?
I'm actually in the middle of doing it right now. I just killed Instagram and I'm killing YouTube right now.
All right. So those streams will be ending on the other platforms. You can come on over to 2rawfortv.tv if you would like to see the entirety of the show. Again, the phone lines are open. You can also call in if you would like to. Now, as I was saying, DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, Trump has given that the axe, and I have been seeing on social media this week that people are literally losing it over that. Like I said, I've seen a lot of Black people arguing over DEI being eliminated. And what I find particularly interesting about that is that through my research, I've seen that Black people only made up about